Okay. We're finally back. Alright. So I decided not to do Xenoblade Chronicles X because it's a big open world game and I tend to play those better on my own time and not have to feel like I'm pressured to do the story to keep things interesting. I'd rather just play something straightforward for streams. Anyway, that's why we're here. I've played the Ace Attorney trilogy and Great Ace Attorney Chronicles so far. So I have yet to play Ace Attorney Investigations or the Apollo Justice trilogy. So that's what we're doing. We're starting on that. First, let's fool around with the options. And now that my OBS isn't shitting the bed, we can actually play the game. Anyway. Like it like that. Hide you. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking at these pixels and they look bad. I'm not doing that. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, okay. Can you hear me? Like, are you able to hear me at all? Joking, by the way. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to reply. Man. Okay. Well, okay, yeah, I know. I was seeing my audio in the audio mixer. I'm like, wait, is something going on? You jag off. All right. No, we'll do the HD. We'll do the arranged soundtrack. What's wrong, buddy? Seeing red already? Well, this game is probably not going to make me... isn't going to piss me off. You know, knock on wood. Reader mode, autoplay. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm good without that. Okay. Prosecutor's Gambit. Oh, okay. I mean, it's just a visual novel. Wait. Everything old is new. All right. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Is it Phoenix Wright? Why? No, it's not him. Why go this far? It's not Edgeworth either, for that matter. Sorry. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. I don't know what kind of voice to give him. No matter what the cost. Who in the fuck? I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Edgeworth really let himself go. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office, and keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze! Is it Gumshoe? No, it's not Gumshoe. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Okay, bye. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases and some very frantic and busy days. I finished photographing the victim's... Oh, wait. Finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Gumshoe, stop peeking the mic. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ah! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say. The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. That's your concern? Whoa! Sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh! That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth! Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads of it or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. What, no court record? He doesn't need one. Let's be real. He doesn't need a folder containing everything. It's all up in his head. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. And that is the end result of using logic. So, how do you use it? Jeez, oh, God, no thoughts, head empty. No thoughts, head empty. First, I recall the information we've gathered with L. Then I connect them together with X. Now, to use and to recall the facts. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. What? Wait. One truth will prevail. If the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. When I want to examine something, I simply use when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use okay? I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Holy shit, it's not point and click. Sorry. Ugh. I was trying to sneeze, but like nothing came. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Isn't that a gun? You know, those things that shoot bullets? Okay. Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. Shall we talk about your salary sometime? I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Thank you for your insight, Gumshoe. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Alright, what do we got? A flipped chess table. Ouch, they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. Dude, there's no way he knows how the knights move. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a... Yeah, no. I was right. I 100% called it. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Oh, he's gonna teach him chess! Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. He'll teach him. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Oh, we're back to point and click again. I don't believe it! I packed those files on those shelves so tight! So tight that not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them! At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all! A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. I might have to grab some water. I'm sorry, did you get shot in the dick, sir? Let's see here. There's blood. Oh, he got shot in the dick! Oh my god, that's fucked up! Hang on. Oh, it looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. In other words, he was shot. Yep. And until today's autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Ah, that looks painful. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. All right, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find, either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Oh, hey. What do we have here? Oh, dude, there's $100 in this. Score! Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge. Oh, I thought it was a wallet. Oh, hey! I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Hang on. Your files are all over the floor, sir. Probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Man, wait. Gumshoe. Where's the audio? What the fuck? Hang on. It just quit. There we go. Okay. For about a half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Oh, Edgeworth. No, he doesn't. What? Ugh, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. The killer is going to pay this tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It cost more than your whole month's paycheck. That's not saying much, dude. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Oh, it's your trophy. The, Knight of Prostitutes. The Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy. It's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Steel Samurai. Well, it's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. It's like all of this stuff. He's just like, oh well, at least my Steel Samurai figurine is still standing here. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but bullshit! You don't buy objection! You don't buy a statue of the Steel Samurai unless you've watched it. The hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai. And his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and The Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even a new stage show, gives it presence. You sure know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Even Gumshoe is calling him out on this. Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. I might have to grab some water. There's a lot of voice acting to do. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Okay. All right, I'm back. Let me just check. All right, because Gumshoe's voice is very gravelly, so okay, I think I'm ready. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that come in with a card attached every month like clockwork for you. Or the ones that come up with a card attached every month like clockwork for you? Yep. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month. Now all of a sudden I've lost my ability to form sentences. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy. Oh no. Old bag. Oh, Ms. Irony, how painful are thy thorns. Wendy, isn't that the name of that old lady with the whiny voice that's stock? That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further. Ugh. Wait. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy that it looks newer than when I first bought it. Yeah, that thing's so polished that it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work this entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. Come on, man. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Damn, what is with you and docking his pay all the time? I knew it wasn't going to take long before that was going to happen, too. I already got the gun. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa. That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Well, yeah, he probably sleeps on a cot. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir. Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Yeah, Mr. Ramen Diet. Okay, but what about this? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. All right. Oh, wow, okay. Killer's goal. He was a detective. No? The pieces don't fit together quite right. Okay, well. Did I miss something? Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? Okay, Edgeworth, rub your face against everything. All right. You called, sir? Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked. What awaited me inside was this whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe. Of course, sir. Examine anything and everything with By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You can see the evidence we've collected with for information and leads, it's L. That's it! Great job, sir! Deductive... Reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly something you lack. I seem to have picked up a few good leads. Oh? So now you're gonna do that thing you do with all that information, right? What are you babbling about? The Brady thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. Logic. You said that you could look at all your leads and info by pressing L. Pick the ones that seem related with and connect them with X. That's your way of investigating, right, sir? Oh, wow, my Detective Gumshoe voice is deteriorating. Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary. Okay, then how about I explain my logic to you next? That is even more unnecessary. Alright, let's try... Oh, wait a minute. Look at this badge! Your prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Well, it's not the size that matters. Oh, but, it's really cool, sir. Much cooler than my badge could ever be. There's no need to suck up to me, Detective. I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it. The dead body? Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait. Alright. Can I not? Okay, guess not. I guess I've checked everything I need. All right. Wait a minute. Those belong together for sure. It's the victim's gun. Yeah, okay. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir! On it now, sir! Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! This guy's wearing a gun holster! So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. And shoot him in the dick, yes. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use la and to zoom in and out to get the nitty-gritty. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so really? Hi, honey. Give me a sec. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic... Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Sounds like that guy knew how to handle a gun, huh? Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! What the Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So, you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here. Excuse me. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. Only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? Oh, Gumshoe, you fucking idiot. You adorable fucking idiot. So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. No thoughts. Head empty. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal! You've got it all wrong! Everyone, calm down! Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. No handshake. He's leaving him hanging. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Oh, for crying out loud. I should probably give them some space. Okay. Well, we're not going to do that. Mr. Portsman, a word, if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's all right. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your pursuit. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. They dared to shoot this ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? Man, I cannot voice act for shit sometimes. I cannot do this voice and try to say all these words. They dared to shoot you. They dared to shoot you. And that's why you're dead right now. Fuck me. Alright. They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? You must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. My boyfriend. But I have my own methods that I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. Wait a minute. There's only one bullet. Wait. Only one shot fired. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Eureka! Eureka! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey! That's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea! Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. Like an updated autopsy report. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. Oh, they wiped it for print. They wiped it. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Yeah, that's what I thought. Someone was trying to get into the safe for some reason. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Alright. Was he trying to get into the safe? Yeah, okay, good. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Like, my logic, let me explain it before I try it, is because someone must have walked in on whoever was trying to open the safe, and that's why there was a struggle. Right? Yeah, okay. Whew. There is a possibility that the files displayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Okay, I might have been off by a little bit, but... Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help! So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal! Okay? Done! It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. Ugh, the bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell on the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah, it's the bullet. Like, how many fucking bullets were fired here? Let's just look at everything else here. G-H... ABC... Okay. The detective's handprints. Must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Okay. Wait. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. Okay, so it went through the victim and then lodged itself there. Does that even make sense? That doesn't make sense at all. Look how low to the ground it is. If he was shot through the stomach, or through the dick even, like even if it was lower and actually did go through his dick, there's no reason that the blood, or there wouldn't be blood splattered around the bullet hole. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. I don't know, man. I put them all back just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. Wonder if they found what they were looking for. It appears that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See? I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, so that's everything. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking because he was shot through the stomach. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? Don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. Yeah. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. It was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? Let's see. He was standing when he was shot. The order of the files, right? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if you look at where 1D is, if you were to swap that with 0D, then it all makes sense. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. From this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Oh, wait. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your... Oh, wait. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Okay, he wasn't shot through the dick. Now that he's not folded over on the floor, we can see that. He was indeed shot through the stomach. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. But there's no time to ponder that now. Let us continue our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed, there are many things that the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. Hello? This... Well, what is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait! There's gotta be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Oh, okay. Give me a second while I drink some more water. Whew. Hang on a sec. Alright. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. This most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it! I don't know what voice to give him. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth! What are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? Might as well. Alright, first, I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with R and present the piece of contradictory evidence. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Alright. To present something, I simply use x, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with la. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information, or a new or modified testimony. So it's court system, okay. Alright. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters in his his body was hiding. It'll be by his final words that you'll be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Alright.
Hold it!
You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, the third of a bunch of guys I decided to... he was the third of a bunch... Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Huh. He talks about the victim like he was his pet. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft instead. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life's getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. Oh, wait.
Hold it!
Why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway.
Hold it!
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? Hello, Mio. Welcome to the stream. The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Well, that's true. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal! There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the body. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing Spike.
Hold it!
Are you saying that those letters were intended for you? Yep, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. Looks like Mr. Portsman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Hang on. Messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. Let's see, hang on a sec. Let me look at what I got here. I already pressed everything. How would you not notice if he wrote... Yeah, you didn't notice the bloody letters when you stole one of the files.
Objection!
Yeah. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. Files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take a file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
Objection!
It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! Excuse me. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time! Well, Mr. Portsman? Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of Olympic gold! I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however... What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Stop playing with your coat. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with the key to the office? One other person. Hey, you there. Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? Oh, wait. Mio. It just took me until now to realize who you were. Give me a second. The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't! What's with him? What's wrong with him all of a sudden? No, they're gonna incriminate her, aren't they? I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird. Yep, I thought it was her. A member of security. The only person that... the only girl that I can think of that would elicit such a reaction from Gumshoe. Oh. Detective Gumshoe, sir? It's a cute outfit. What's with... Oh, she always has to have feathers. She's a bird, after all. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Ms. Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right! I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me! That's right, I did it! Should we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me, and if it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. Let's take a look at this, shall we? It's the master key to every office in the building. That's it? Is there not going to be anything useful here? Alright. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and the reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. Wonder if there was anyone else other than Ms. Bird who could have used the master key. Oh. Okay, now I understand what's going on here. Okay. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Alright, yeah, okay, now the game wants me to press him. I didn't need to before, but I got extra dialogue out of it, which is great for my voice. It's pretty obvious that Mr. Bird, yeah, great. Good job, Alex. It's pretty obvious that Ms. Bird... Wait, I already read this anyway. Let's just press his comments. Are you sure Ms. Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on this staff at this time of the night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Ms. Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha, a likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Damn, Gumshoe. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's... First Mr. Bird, and now Ms. Edgeworth. Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However... hang on. Hello, Aki. Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe... Hey, good thinking, asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Hold it!
Aki, hey, oi. Knock it off. Jerk. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It's just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, Aki, if my computer shuts off because of you, I am going to kick you out. You're going to be locked in the bedroom for the next stream. See, there goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up. I don't think you're catching my drift. Hang on. Thought we established Gumshoe's innocence. It's just a theory, hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Ms. Bird from the beginning. Then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make sense. Yeah, but we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she's the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Ms. Bird as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare, so I... Boy, can you get off the TV so I can actually see what I'm reading? So what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you literally chased off the force. Wait, what? So, is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Phew. Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Okay, but I didn't get anything new from all this, did I? Figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. I'm kind of done voice acting for a minute. Let my voice recharge. The act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth! What are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence! I would love to. But first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying. Press him for more information. Okay. Each prosecutor's badge is engraved with the number of its owner on the back. Numbers, as if we're not human on the inside like everyone else. Oh wait. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Oh, so that's why I'm not seeing it. He just doesn't wear it. I've never seen a badge with a freaking bolt on the other side, though. Yeah, you just screw it on. Like, what? It's kind of weird. Okay. Anyway, alright, maybe there's something here that I'm missing. It's so easy to take a life with just the pull of the trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at track and field meets to start races. If you take off before it's fired, everybody always ends up following your lead. To chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always end up in last place. Okay, that wasn't important, I think. Oh. Yeah, let's look in the barrel. Wait a minute. Okay, nothing new.
Hold it!
Okay, so I didn't already... Okay, there's some new dialogue then. Yeah, it's not letting me skip, which tells me that there's something new here. What's down there?
Objection!
Oh well. What? Oh, this is new. Inner motive? Didn't we already... Okay. I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried at the safe. But I'm done taking blows. Anything really suggesting... So she said that this key went missing at 1 a.m. The body was found at 2:05. Let's take a look. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
Hold it!
Yeah, see, now it's letting me skip, so there's nothing new there. So what I'm wondering is, if the file was there, then what did they try going through the safe? Like, the file that is missing, clearly, whoever went through the stuff got what they wanted, so why did they try the safe anyway?
Objection!
Nope. There's a large flaw in your logic. Really? I think it holds up well, actually. What do you think is wrong with it? Nothing. Let's move on. Concentrate. I can't afford to do that, or the truth will slowly slip away. It's the only way. Alright.
Hold it!
Oh wait, I already checked it.
Hold it!
Wait a minute, let me see that again. It was thievery. With regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe. So the fact that he's kind of interrupting Miles tells me that that's the statement I want to show something on. Oh, hello. There we go. But then why is she...
Objection!
Nope, that's not it. How did it come to this? I'm already kind of confused. Well, it's not going to be my badge, because that's never evidence. Like, that's rarely ever used for evidence. I already tried these two. Fuck it.
Objection!
Nope. It'd behoove you to take a good look at this. I see it, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. Is that so? You're not at the top of your game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? I don't see it.
Objection!
I don't get it. Okay, but that's right, apparently. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth, after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. That means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. This face. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! Why? What made you... Well, what's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret saves. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret saves. That means... Yeah, I know, I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you, Ms. Maggie Bird? Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was to self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if she was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects to varying degrees, and therefore ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal. How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir... We have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now. Haha, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? Are you kidding me? That was just the first chapter and it didn't even conclude? Oh, I don't like this chapter at all. Wait, maybe it's not the end of the chapter yet. Okay. Okay. We're not done yet. This is still chapter 1. I'm not used to having a checkpoint in the first chapter. Even though I guess technically it's happened before when I played Great Ace Attorney, I think. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then, what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things that we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is relating to this master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Alright. Oh, he just says that every time we zoom in on an area. Proclaim this to be my office. Whoops, hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Why? Because I'm assuming that the next door over is 1201. But I don't think changing the plate will really make a difference. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... yeah. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs of that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. A minimalist, yet classy door made of top-quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it near impossible to break in by force. It's almost Majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire. I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I could do for everyone? Right. That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. Alright. Nothing new was gained from that. Let's see. 1203, yeah, see? Mr. Portsman's. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Why the fuck is there a basketball here? Why is there a basketball hoop in the freaking... Why? Wait, no. Wait, this is a prosecutor's... What is this? Why is there a basketball hoop in a fucking prosecution office? This is so nonsensical. Even for this series. Hey, whatever, man. What is a basketball doing here? That's my thought. Sometimes you just gotta let... You just gotta let the ball decide people's fates. Yeah, I guess we're, like... I guess this is how prosecutors settle arguments. They just play a game of b-ball. In the building! Like, no, seriously, what is it doing indoors, for that matter? Like, you know, I could understand if it was outside, like, just in the courtyard or something. You know, Lord knows, you gotta have fun at work somehow. Also, she's got her hat, too. I just noticed. She's carrying it around. That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I guess maybe if it's summertime, they don't want to go outside. I wouldn't... Oh, wait, no, it's March. It's March. It's spring. I don't think it's that bad around that time in Japan. Wait, this isn't Japan. Right. I keep forgetting. Localized... It doesn't make sense no matter where you live. No matter what time of year. At this time of year, in this part of the country, localized entirely within this hallway. Why the fuck is there a basketball hoop? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let this go. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. Not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Okay, so this is Portsman's fault. Got it. Okay, now I really want to take him down. Oh, hey! There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief only took what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these O files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? It belonged to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. And that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. DL6? I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent. Talk about luxury. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know? You would sleep even out here, Detective, in a hallway. Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime, to envision myself winning, naturally. Hi, Aki. I just love the sprite work. I don't want to talk to him. Let's talk to this guy first. I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Man, goals. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything is okay, sir. Word of advice. Stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor. I hate everything about this basketball hoop right now. It is bothering me to, like, the nth degree. Maggie, what's your input? I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. Oh. She's so happy. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. Oh my god, she's a fangirl. Can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with X. Oops. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? At the time I realized, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. It's kind of a careless place to leave it, don't you think? But I'm sure that just between those two times it was not just gone, but stolen. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. What's up, Mio? We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key? What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah! What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly! It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. Okay. I see. And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. This key was used to unlock and lock and Lockmiss. Just Portsman, not Mr. Okay, so 12 a.m. and 1:30. It was stolen around 1:30, around 1. The body was discovered at 2:30. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Alright. Well, let's talk about the victim for now. Have you ever met the victim before? Why is there blood on his... Oh! Mio, I think you're behind a bit. Oh, wait. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with them. Hey. Let's see. Sounds fun, but the only person I've ever taken a shot was Mr. Portsman. Of course. All Mr. Faith did was pass him the ball, sir. In second thought, I don't think I'd fit in all that well with them. Ms. Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder, and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. What? Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. Boy, what are you doing? What time is it? Do you need food? I'll give you a little, I'll feed you a little bit, okay? Let's see. Give me just a second. He always knocks things over when he wants my attention, so that's why. Did it not? Like, they must have been really hungry. Holy shit. I fed them, but I guess they want more today. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I've even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know! It's just when I thought I had finally found my happiness. I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Alright. I guess we have to talk to him now. Looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Oh my god. Yeah. Alright. It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of the prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful. Sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. Oh, that makes sense because he wants the case files that the previous owner of 1202 had. That must be who our culprit is. Okay. Might I advise you to return to that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? We already... Yeah, it's majestic. Fits in really... Yep. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these. Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Alright. So, let's try putting some pieces together then. key went missing. What the fuck? If the master key was stolen, or if the master key was missing between 1 and 2:30, then why was it used to lock Portsman's office at 1:30? Maggie went up to do it, too. Ms. Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. Okay, then yeah, okay, it wasn't just... Oh. What the fuck? Hang on a sec. Accidentally turned off the capture device. So far, the main person that seems suspicious is that Edgeworth guy. Clearly. Ms. Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. What? Have you been hanging around Gumshoe? You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I'd totally forgotten all about that. But thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Oh, cool. Let's just walk right into his office then. Okay, I guess that's not what the game wants me to do just yet. From the look of it, I haven't checked everything. Okay. I bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really... Oh, wait. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. Sounds to me like somebody has already tried at least once before. Okay, now we've checked everything there. Okay, Gumshoe. You look rather intrigued by something. Care to share? Oh, it's nothing, but I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. And the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim too. But one of them is a big fan of that show. Seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too? Of course, that tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Friendship, detective? I think you're mistaking it with pity. Damn. How can you say that, sir? After all we've been through, too? Oh, damn. I got an achievement for breaking his heart. About Ms. Bird. No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy that buy into that accusation, sir. Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position. Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Stand next to her and then press Ah! Then you get to talk about whatever topic you pick. Present evidence with X. Press X again. You can show me evidence in the same way too. Seasoned pro of instant noodle cuisine, perhaps. You know that you can always check out the really important... I'm taking a break from voice acting. I can't keep doing it. Give me a sec. You can always use R to look around. All right. Oops. No. Look at this badge. You're really a prosecutor. Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe. With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on, just for a little bit? I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you? I guess not. On second thought, they're actually on the same level. Okay. Well, that's just rude. I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it. It's like talking to another Gumshoe. Okay, it makes sense she wouldn't know that. Okay, I already... I've also had a chance to see what's in the inside of his office on a number of occasions, too. He's got shelves upon shelves of sports memorabilia, trophies, and awards in it, to the point where it's almost beyond gaudy, sir. But maybe I just feel that way because I'm jealous since I don't have even a single one. Don't say that, Maggie. I'll make a special Guard of the Month award just for you. Thanks for trying, but I've already got a mountain of consolation prizes, sir. They're proof of just how unbelievably unlucky my life has been. Plus, getting an award from you just isn't the same as getting a real award, sir. Ouch. Can't present people. Okay, so what does the game want me to do then? Maybe I am supposed to use logic here. Yeah, no, they didn't fit together. But I'm lost. Alright. You know what, let's try showing Gumshoe some things. Same model as mine. Those who take a gun in hand wield a great responsibility. I hope you understand that. I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duel with a convict to look ultra cool. You're the last type of person I want holding a gun, dude. You were doing so well into that last bit. No idea you had one of these. I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth. There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least I hope so. I've already showed him this, and this, and this. Wait. Okay. Now kiss. Is there really nothing else? I'm missing something. Maybe I need to look at evidence. I can't look at that one. Nothing new. Okay, Let's try inspecting everything a second time then. Oh, wait. Oh, deduce.
Eureka!
There we go. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? Easy way to find out. All we need to do is, we need to examine these. Prints on the number plate. What? No. Dude, are you kidding me? Of course it would prove something. Detective Gumshoe's dinner will only consist of instant noodles. That was amazing, sir. How did you know? Excuse me, but I was right. Fuck you. The prints on the doorknob? Yeah, that's great and all. Why? Sorry, I've only found Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost. Thinking logically, as a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Whose prints should also be on this doorknob? Okay, hang on a second. Well, obviously Maggie's.
Take that!
What have we here? Oh, that would have been nice to actually look at that. I won't rest until I... Yeah, I couldn't have done that before, apparently. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is. He's game. Oh wait, that was Gumshoe. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. I want to finish this chapter before I stop the stream. Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Wait, it was moved. Oh, he must have moved the hoop next to Edgeworth's door, then moved it back. In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspect it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, Prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on Truth's door. Did you really need to toss it to him? Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. It's some kind of joke. It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who would have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. It really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know. Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using, that mouth of yours, now, is sucking my dick. No, explaining yourself. Although that, too, will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Mr. Portsman's... Man, I cannot say his name right to save my life. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on, with evidence. Unfortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist that I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth? Alright, I'll humor you. Go on, go ahead, shoot. Very well then. I propose that you used this to open my door. Yeah.
Take that!
I believe you were able to open my office door, with the master key no less.
Objection!
Wait, hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You had asked Ms. Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. It happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Ms. Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See? Miss Bird backs up my story. Yes, yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Ha! And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right! They do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you used one other thing to give us a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours, and not, in fact, mine.
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why I left it an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Gah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop had been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure. I see, so that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and as innocent as my jacket. Alright, Inspector Cabanella. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty. I'll have you know I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Now you're just wait, right. Hang on a sec. Let me just check a thing. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire... Oh, wait.
Hold it!
Right. Nonsense, you say?
Hold it!
What were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. How do you do all of that in an office of this size? Like, if yours is the same size as mine, you have no room to do all of that. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so...
Hold it! Objection! Objection! Objection!
Jesus Christ. It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. Seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Let's take a look at the evidence here. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Yep, there we go. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? Huh, what for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Ms. Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Ah! Further, all of the prints on my office doorknobs have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Ms. Bird's fingerprints were on it.
Objection!
But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, would I lie to you? I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as you claim.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, "But you're out." You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Don't you think it's time you gave up on your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And a Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard some sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said, when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. If memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 a.m. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Okay.
Hold it!
You're correct, it was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with that time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. It was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. It was as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, it was down...
Hold it!
So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Ugh. Impossible, he actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. Oh, okay, I was supposed to just let that play out. You there. Sir, please escort the young lady out. But remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? Think this through one more time with logic. Well, this is one of them. The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? Yeah, we still don't have an answer for that one, do we? I could just try them both. But I want to... Let's see if I can get it right on the first try. The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Who could it have been? Is there an accomplice? There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But, seeing how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person. Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. So the culprit rearranged my files twice. Maybe the victim and his killer. Okay. Yeah, when you put it... Yeah, that makes more sense. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder. So it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back...
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great! So you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. Oh, what do you mean 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Ms. Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Yeah. Now then, returning to my scenario. Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. Which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? Why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time that they were disturbed. It seems the thief found their prize. The stolen O file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice and the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid! Your scenario explains everything! Of course it does! It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? Vibing. Hang on. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all that dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here, at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Hold it!
Let's see. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And if it was after... And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. I mean the O files, right? That's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try... Oh, the Zero files, what am I saying? Try to undermine themselves? Ah! Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe...
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. Ah, it's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered... I don't have any... No. Okay, thanks for at least letting me know that much. You see, so I insist again that I was all in my office the entire time.
Hold it!
Why did you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. What of the evidence he brought? There were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Wait.
Hold it!
There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be your satisfaction. Okay, I didn't get...
Hold it!
The purpose of sneaking into your room. Ugh. That's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed.
Hold it!
Let me just double check that it doesn't want me to go back and press an earlier statement.
Hold it! Hold it!
Wait a minute. He had 3 pieces of evidence, right?
Objection!
Yeah, okay, good. Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. Music. Well, what are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. Ah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe. You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Well, don't come any closer, I'm warning you! This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. Why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. It's because he would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive out the last nail into his coffin. KG8 incident? That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No! You've got it all wrong! No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were able to examine this tape for fingerprints? Gah! If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. Did he just eat his medal? Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. The results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned back out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. It was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this... It was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. Why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? They say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. He never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. This is going to be one of those optional things. I'm gonna guess the safe, but just to be safe, no pun intended, I'm gonna look it up. Hang on. Hang on. Oops. Oh, okay. I was wrong. But that's another one. 'Cause we don't know what's on that.
Take that!
The The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. What happened to the stolen pages? I wonder who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of a raven. A three-legged raven. I know the name of a three... Dozed off. I think the heat made me doze off. I miss the cold already. Don't tell me you also live in Arizona. Yeah, the heat's kind of it was getting harder for me to stream last week because I would just be too tired to stream after work. Even you should know what this is, Detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it's the mark of the great thief. Yatagarasu, that's what I was trying to remember. There's Persona. Under the mark of the legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know his targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card, although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu, organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. That only took 3 hours. That made a perfect length stream. That's my ideal stream length right there. Nice. Alrighty. Why would I... Who's gonna need 20 save files in a visual novel? It's her! I killed my throat with that. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go eat some food and do some other stuff. I'm probably gonna stream later in the week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.